Hey folks, David Stewart here. Hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome back to the Fantasy Livewrite. We're gonna either bang out a couple words or write some blurbs or something today. We'll do a little bit of work for Friday. I think we finished up the other chapter on Wednesday, so I'm going to be doing these Livewrites twice a week for a while, I think, until I can get this book actually done and out to everybody in like a fully edited format. There's a couple things that, I mean, like as soon as I finish chapter 23 here, first of all, here's a video that you guys haven't even seen yet. No one's seen it. It's private. I was debating whether I wanted to publish this because at the beginning and like the first 3 minutes, you can hear my volume pedal squeaking. Because I'm not recording into the interface. I'm recording with mics. This is what it sounds like on the phone. These are phone microphones right now that you're hearing for this. And as a result, like it was super cold. That's why there's a heater on out there. It was super cold and rainy. It was like 38 degrees. So I went out there and something about the volume pedal being out in the cold, it started squeaking. It going, and I was like, oh, it's driving me crazy. And I could hear it even with the monitors on. I was just like trying to change the way that I was activating it to get it to stop squeaking, but I think it eventually like warmed up slightly and then stopped squeaking. So I was like debating, it's like, man, do you leave the squeak in there? Do you leave that flaw? Because it's a pretty annoying flaw. It's not like I flub a note, because there's a couple flub notes. Like in any live piece I do, there's always going to be little things you mess up on. Oh, you know, I flubbed this note, or I played slightly out of tune, you know, somewhere, or just like made bad choices. Like I did a bend here when I shouldn't have done a bend. You know, I glissed too far, you know, little things like that. But in this case, it was like this squeak. On my volume, it's a VP Junior. That's what I was using. I don't usually use that VP Junior. I use a much bigger, more robust pedal, but it was on my pedal board in my office, and my wife was working in our office. I share my office with my wife. So I was like, I'll just hook up the VP Junior and throw the Ableton together out on the porch. You know, it's raining, it's dark, it's nice. I did an earlier take that was totally messed up by cats meowing and jumping on me, and like my daughter coming out and talking to me in the middle of the piece. I'm like, I'm recording a piece, but it's okay. I love my daughter. But the only reason I wouldn't want to have that one is, you know, I try not to put my kids online. Like they didn't consent to that. And there's a lot of creeps out there and just badly intentioned people. So I'm always cautious about having my kids in anything. People who've been watching the channel or watching the streams long enough have seen all of my kids anyway, but it's like, you know, they come in at different times, like randomly, like they've come in before. I'm like, I'm kind of in the middle of something, Roan. It's like, oh, okay, I'll come back. Yeah, it's a push 3. Yeah, you can plug the guitar straight in. It's a push 3. So I had the push 2. I bought the push 2 at a super deep discount, not realizing they were going to release a newer version of it. And I was like, oh man, that newer version had, they call it MPE. I'm trying to remember what that stands for, like multi-point something. But basically you can do vibrato on those little rubber pads. So you can see me like doing vibrato on them. And that vibrato is really cool. It really opens things up to a new level of like expressiveness with synth. I'm used to doing expressive synth like with my Iwi. Is my Iwi in here? My Iwi's in the other room, but my Iwi. But this one was like, made it super easy. It's right here. It's really easy format. In a lot of cases, I think the squares, even if you're doing it chromatically, I think they're like better than a piano because you can get more range. I'd like to try doing a different custom setup, because the way it is now, if you're doing it chromatic, you're basically cutting your range down to like, you know, a 50 key keyboard or less. Actually, it's quite a bit less. Where if you're doing it diatonic, you can do like 5 octaves, which is really great. It gives you a lot of range to play just with that. I often have my regular keyboard, which is off to the side here. Maybe you can see it. I often have that one hooked up when I'm doing stuff. So it's because it's super easy to just do any chord I want. It's right there. I don't know. I've grown up with the piano interface, so it's a little easier to just think in like, oh, I could just play an F sharp diminished 7 right here, you know, versus like having to think about where all the notes are on the push. But sometimes it makes me think more. And I haven't developed a technique for push other than I like to do it with my left hand because I'm used to doing vibrato from guitar and bass and stuff with my left hand more than my right, but I can do it with both hands. It's not a big deal. It's one of these interesting things, but yeah, it's push 3. My wife and my mom bought that for me for Christmas last year. They had like a sale on them. And so the standalone push, that's what it is. It's a standalone. Very cool for this kind of stuff. I make use of it for sure. I did a video like, do you need the push 3? And the answer is, if you really need it to be a standalone device, you really need to cut down on the number of hardware devices hooked up to your laptop because it has a built-in sound interface. So that would get rid of like, you know, your Scarlett interface or whatever you're using. Or you really want, so yeah, if you really want the MPE, you want to reduce that, or you want to do something away from the computer, then it's good. Otherwise, you can just get the one without the built-in, without the computer in it, or get the push 2. You can get the push 2 at a big discount. I might have taken that video down because I got so much harassment over saying Ableton instead of Ableton, even though I've never met another human being who used this thing, so I don't know how you say it. And I even say that in the video. I'm like, I'm not sure how you say it. You tell me. Because I think I've heard it both ways. We just got tired of it. I got tired of synth people are as bad as Star Wars fans. They get mad at people for not saying Moog correctly, saying Moog. We called it a Moog. We called it Moog in the 90s and 80s, right? It was a Moog because it said Moog, right? We didn't hang out with people that are like, oh, that's actually a Moog. People called it Moog. Who cares? Right? And someone getting mad that, you know, it's a... You've never heard another human pronounce Chevrolet before, so it's a Chevrolet. It's called Chevrolet. Like I talked to some guy. It's a Chevrolet. It's Chevrolet, actually. I don't know. I've never heard anyone say this word before, so I don't know how to say it. I've read it. I can read it on the package. You know, I didn't buy my shit at Guitar Center to like have, and the person at Guitar Center probably wouldn't have known what to say about it either, right? It's slightly more niche kind of DAW anyway. I love it. I love Ableton. I love it. It's by far my favorite music software I've ever used because I can do these live performances. Like, it's just so much fun to be able to do this stuff at a whim. I look super chunky in this too because I'm like in a sweatshirt, and it just makes me look huge. Like, I'm a big dude, and it's like the big black sweatshirt doesn't make me look any less huge. And the guitar, I look at it, I'm like, the guitar looks like a little toy sometimes when I hold it. I'm not like the tallest guy. I had a friend who was 6'7" or 6'6", and he played guitar, and it often looked like a toy in his hands, but he was really thin, so it kind of offset it. Versus like my Uncle Chuck, who's like 6'4" and bigger than me, you know. The guitar will look somewhat toy-like when he holds the guitar. But anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys that. All right, let's, I should make that one public. I'll do it. You know what? You got to live with the squeaks in life, right? There's probably some lesson there. It's pronounced niche. We've always said niche. Niche is what we said. It might be in the dictionary's niche. I don't remember. Certain niche. Niche would be the French pronunciation because it's the loan word, technically. So are you using push like a live looper or have pre-made patterns? It's all live. I record everything in live. If you're hearing drums, so far I've done for drums, I do the drums as like they're not pre-recorded. Pre-recorded is not the right word. but they're patterns that I played in previously. And if you're listening to any of my music on Bandcamp or whatever that I linked earlier, almost all those drum patterns, they're not patterns, right? They're not clips or loops. I play them all in live, either with my drum set or I play them with the keyboard or like the push or something, right? So they're all played in live. They're all human performed. But I will use those loops that I recorded, and if I just need drums, that's what I'll do with them. What's going to happen in this one? All right, so this one they're going to go. I have to think about some of my stuff. So yeah, I will pre-make the drum patterns if I'm doing it live. I wish my skill level were a little higher. Like if I practiced it more, I could probably record all the drum patterns in live. But my concern with that is that that draws the piece out as well for me to like go in, quickly record a drum pattern while a loop is going on. I think people might like that, and I would love to have the skill to do that, but I'm just not there yet. My fear is that it would just not be as interesting to people. It would make the piece draw out a little too much unless I really thought ahead of time of every single loop I was going to do, which I never do. It's all improvised. I just turn it on and I start going, and it's just me. It's me. I'm just going. I'm improvising. It's jazz. You know, this is my version of modern jazz. Just going to infuriate some jazz players because I'm using like 4 chords through this whole piece. But you get the idea. So he's just using a bunch of major 7 chords. Boring! Where's all my substitute chords? Yeah. So I use the push as a live looper, and I play the synth parts on it. So I use it as an instrument and to control the loops. It's pretty fun. All right. I have to think about some of the characters that are here. Because it's been so long since we've had them, right? There's Edward, which is the false king. I'm trying to remember the name of these guys. Bartholomew, that's right. There's another henchman. Who's the other henchman? Yeah, Bart. Who is it? Nigel. Got to give them some proper Manchester names. Bart and Nigel. Good evening, everyone. Make sure we have these guys. We also need the steward. I have this in another notes file, but I'm not sure what the notes file is, so I'm just pulling it here. A lot of times I have a second file that just has all this stuff in it. If you were using something like Scrivener, there's like it's all built in, or something like Final Draft. But I don't like all that stuff when I'm writing books. All right. Where is he? Jory. Prior Mabel. Jory. I should just make all of the characters from like Oblivion, which would be funny. Yeah, I usually just have a second file that's like a notes file, but it's somewhere. I didn't save it in the right place. It doesn't matter. Like, I know what's happening, but I just like keep track of places and names and things like that. It's usually pretty good. You know. That kind of stuff. That's the end of that guy.
Hey guys, do you know
This is an ad. Ads. There we go. Another patio cat one. Patio cat 2. All right. Joffrey. Jory. Joffrey. It's Joffrey. Prior Maybill. That's what we need. All right. There's another ad.
TV. Your committers will wish to get
Can't get through. And I see this is not monetized. Like, I'm not getting any money from the ads. YouTube gets the money and I get nothing for this music because it's on a separate channel. Yeah, it's on a channel of mine, but it's not. Yeah, it's not monetized because there's not enough subscribers. You have to have like so many subscribers or whatever to monetize it. I'll link the channel. There's only like 250 subscribers. So, but you know, it's like they run ads on everything, and only if you get enough subscribers will you actually get a cut of that, you know. Just order Needle and Ash book 1. Oh, weird. Book 1? Maybe you're ordering a really old edition. The only edition that should be available now is the complete edition. But you can get all of them in this Eternal Dream Christmas. This is only available through January. So, grab it. Yeah. What you should be ordering, if you want to read Needle Ash, is... Where is it? Maybe the old paperbacks are still up. You should order the complete edition, because that has all of them. I believe that's it. You can order it in hardcover. Fortunately, the hardcovers are pretty expensive from Amazon. But it is what it is. So. Yeah, maybe there is like there might be the original paperbacks might still be available, I think. Either that or like I have neglected to take them down off of other sites that aren't Amazon. I think I took all my books off of sites that aren't Amazon. I think I did that. Yeah. That's an older version of the paperback. It probably has like typos. Because I stopped printing that like right away. But they're collectible. If they're still available, they might be collectible at this point. I don't know if they're still for sale. But like the most current version is going to be the complete edition. It has all the little fixes. Fixed a lot of little typos here and there. Didn't really change anything, but you know, when you're shipping quickly, you end up shipping with more typos than you'd like. Even when you use proofreaders, you get a bunch that go through. Proofreaders don't catch them all. But I appreciate you buying the book. It's a cool find if you found the original version. I have to look at my bookshelf because like maybe they're still available. I know the ebooks shouldn't be available. But like the other thing is, even if I like unpublish those versions of the books, the physical versions still float around for years because they're in secondhand stores and stuff. Yeah, I think the paperbacks are still available. I think you can still get the original paperbacks. It's like the original editions. They're like $7. That's interesting. I thought I got rid of those. No matter. No matter. You can have them. I appreciate you buying them. If I they're still available to be printed, I guess. So, they're probably not that collectible. I might keep them there because then you can. Although what I should probably do is like rectify them with the complete edition. I think this is why I took them down, is I didn't want to manage like too many different versions of the same thing. So you know, I would just like buy the complete edition, and then it has the whole story in it. Did I not have this on? Maybe I didn't. All right, whatever. Okay. What was the knight's name? What was his name? I'm actually going to make another file real quick that has got a couple of notes. Look it up. Notes. No, that's not what I wanted. See if I can find it. I haven't opened it in a while. Gosh, I've written so many articles. Yep, these aren't right. Under here. There we go. I can't find my notes thing. Because I wanted to write down something. That's not it. Shoot. There it is. Okay. There, Sir Stallwell, and okay. I usually have some revision notes here. Okay, I'm gonna go for a few more minutes. The music stopped. Is there more music?
See, this is stupid.
Another ad. 2 ads. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate everybody buying the books, even if they're old versions. Just be aware that if there's typos, that's why. That's like the 2018 edition. So I'm sorry if there's any typos hanging out in those. To listen to some beat boop music. Smell my wife has cooked something for the kids in the other room. What's up, Val? Hope you're having a good day. Trying to get a little bit done here before dinner. We haven't written that much. We got to at least get like 1,000 words or 1,500 words in. Make a little progress. And we'll finish this chapter up next Wednesday. It'll be great. Oh, this will be 26 or 27 chapters. Let me think, because we'll do this one. This will take us basically back to the city, and the next chapter will be kind of the last big battle, I guess, where we'll have a bunch of stuff happen. And so that'll take us to about 105,000 words, and then we'll need one more chapter of kind of full resolution stuff to kind of bring everything down to a close and sort of give all the weird little threads in here their completion. So it should be about 110,000 words, which is a good length. You know, that's about as long as Needle Ash. The entire complete Needle Ash. And I think I'll make this one book 4. I may tweak a couple things and kind of bring it in line chronologically with the mainline Eternal Dream books. It's very different, right? I try to do every book a little bit different. Water of Awakening is very much like a Hobbit influenced adventure story. And very Germanic. Needle Ash is military fantasy. Needle Ash is military fantasy. King Leper, which will be out this year. It's done. I need to draw a map. I'll do that live, I guess. We'll do some live map drawing. That's more George R.R. Martin-ish political kind of intrigue fantasy stuff, but it still has a lot of big adventure and things like that. So, you know, I hate to say George R.R. Martin, he's kind of a dirty word in my circles, but it's closer to that kind of stuff than it's more modern fantasy, I guess. This one is much more Lord Dunsany, classic fantasy stuff, Once and Future King kind of stuff. Or even later things like Poole Anderson, much more influenced by that. So each book has a totally different flavor. The book 5 will probably just be a series of adventures following the Wasting Desert. So that'll be a fun book 5. And that'll kind of progress us a little bit further. We have another story in kind of the Helga trilogy, I guess, to really bring a close to the conflict with Erling. The problem of Erling. And so that's another book. That brings us to 6. And that one will probably also bring kind of the close of this big mainline series, depending on what I want to do with that one. Like what story I want to tell. I have another story in mind, so I could always add more, right? I could add more intercals or whatever. I can always add more stories. The Moonsong books, there's basically another 3 on the way this year at some point. So that'll make 6. I'll probably release the first 3 as a single volume, just to kind of give people more interested in that book, you know? They talk about beastmen savages in the desert to the south. Wonder what the eternal. So that's like on the other side. Basically, there's like on kind of an island nation, like of a bunch of islands. There's two. There's Veruland, which is a big island. That's kind of my take on, like, I don't know what to call it. He's kind of like Great Britain, I guess. Whatever. It's an island. D'Italia is more like Italy, but in a bunch of island forms, like Corsica and stuff like that, Sicily. So it's a bunch of islands, and below that, there's a much more like unexplored series of islands with the Ebothin and these other weird races that we just haven't encountered yet. So we'll encounter some of them in the other books. You know, I don't feel like I need to like blow my wad on every single nation and race that I have imagined in like one book. I know lots of people would do that, but that's not, you know. But yeah, we'll have the beastmen are just very different from people, right? And there's a couple different versions that I have in my head. One of them is more like bird-like, right? Like bird-like people, you know, like the Skedis or something like that. I'm sure D&D has a flavor of them as well. It's an easy way to make a race is you just make it beast-like. But my thought is like, what if you had, you know, a more sentient race that had these animalistic qualities to them? Kind of like how the orcs are actually Dryson, which are these giants that have been kind of, they're the, you know, the Dryson are like the Golden Man version of their race, and they just kind of decay into these kind of more savage, toothy orcs. So you have the same thing with the Ebothin and these beastmen. So we'll get to that. Like, we'll get to that eventually. Or if not, it's okay, because people would just tell stories about like fantastical things in foreign lands and never experience them, you know. This is actually a cool piece. Now that I'm listening to this, I like this. This is got a cool vibe to it. Yeah, I like this more than when I first recorded it. All right. Let's see what we did here. 1,200 words. Talked for too long. That's the problem. So I really need to get going. It started a little late, though. You know, that happens. Looks like we've been going for an hour and 13 minutes. That's not bad, you know. It's 1,000 words an hour. Normally I can do like 1,500, but we listened to some music. I talked about music, which is good. Good to talk about. I need to do another one of those synth pieces, I think.
This is my favorite tuning plugin. Here's why.
There's an ad for Auto-Tune. Auto-Tune your vocals. Did I link the album? Let's find out. I think I did. Like Waken from a Dream. Thanks, George. Yeah, I think that's about it. 120. What are we at? I'd like to get 1,500 out. That's half a day at least. The Werewolf Village. What do we do with this priest? All right. I think that's it for today. I'm going to go a couple minutes early. Yeah, 1,500 words. All right. So that's half a day of work. That's good. That'll be fine. We got to get him closer. We'll have a couple of events leading to like this last little battle. And then we'll have a final fight, if you will. All right. That's it, guys. I'll see you all next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Patreon. You'll get copies of all this stuff for free. I don't have a free book for January on it yet, so I'm willing to take suggestions if there's a book that you want to read out of my catalog. For patron benefits, I'm happy to deliver that book, because if you're a patron, it's what you want, So, have a good one. I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out and listening to some weird music. The album is out. I linked the album. This is one of the tracks from the album right here. They're all live recorded. We're doing it live. 2024 was the year of the live performance. Anyway, have a great one, and I will see you all next time. Thank you.